Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Acqua Lounge podcast. I'm here with a real special guest. I'm going to give you the name in a second. But first, like, comment, subscribe to the Acqua Lounge, representing Sink or Swim, representing Marlin Beats. We got a really, really, really talented artist in the building. Really talented. Like, I'm talking like
super.
And we've gotten to know him pretty well over the past, I would say 5, 6, 7 months. So, let's get into it. Jaysix, welcome to the show, my guy.
What's happening? What's good?
What it do? So, real quick, I know you were just in LA, right?
Yeah, I just got back on Wednesday, so I've been back for like 5 days.
So what was good? What were you doing in LA? How was that?
Kind of exploring for the most part. One of my boys from college, Oliver Tenlin, lives out there.
Okay.
So we went out to visit him. Me and my boy Mike Reyes, who we went to Temple together in Philly, and we went to school together. And he just kind of hit me up and was like, "Yo, you want to go to LA?" And I was like, "I've actually been trying to go to LA, so I'm glad I have somebody to go with now."
Right.
So he hit me, and he's doing some work with the camera too. So like he was able to help me shoot like content for reels and pictures and stuff. So we're kind of just out there exploring. My engineer, who's mixed a bunch of my songs, David Strauss, is out in LA. So I got to meet him and pull up at the studio that he works at, Chalice, which is...
You got to connect with him, like, you connected with him over the phone first and finally got to meet him?
Yeah, over...
Okay, that's what's up.
When Too Much Noise was starting to come together, he was the engineer who was helping me put that together. So I've, like, been talking to him for, like, a year now, and this was actually the first time I got to, like, shake his hand and say what's up in person.
That's dope.
So
That's good shit.
and other than that, just doing touristy shit, exploring the scene.
So it wasn't really, you didn't really have like a show or anything. You were just did you record it all
Yeah, actually, this place this place Green Tea Studios in Santa Monica.
Okay.
They hit me up over TikTok like 2 weeks ago, and they were like, "Hey, we love this song I Waited," and they were like, "If you ever in LA, like let us know." I was like, glad you reached out because I'm actually gonna be there in 10 days. So yeah, I pulled up and met a couple of those guys, and they do shows out there and stuff. So yeah, man, I feel like I was only there for 5 days, but I got a cool little experience.
Yeah. So I've heard very a wide range of things about LA, man. I haven't been. Surprisingly, we got to go.
Yeah, we have to go.
It'll come.
For sure. But I know we were just talking about this before, but it seems a little bit that the clout is excessive.
Yeah, I mean, just the pace is different.
The importance of it, yeah.
Yeah, the pace is different than New York. Like, the city itself is, like, very spaced out, so it's, like, not on top of each other like New York.
Where exactly were you in L.A.?
Beverly Hills.
Oh,
that's, yeah.
Beverly Hills.
You were in the
my boy Mike hooked up the hotel through his work, so we were able to stay out there, and it was, like, kind of, like, on the border of, like, the West Hollywood area, so, like, it was the Strip and all the famous bars and hangouts and places that so and so used to be here. It's it was cool to like see a little bit of the history, but yeah, you definitely got that. Everybody who goes out there for the most part, I feel like is trying to do something and try to put on and build their own brand. So that's kind of how it is. But
I heard there's a lot of MILFs out there.
Can not confirm.
Okay, that's right. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna just get into a little bit about your rap career, Jay.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna call him Jaysix. He's a rapper. I call him Jay. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you're going to hear
Six, Jesse, anything, bro.
Yeah. So I just want to kind of start, you know what I mean? Like, you grew up on Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And you was writing an early thing for you?
Yeah, actually, I always loved to write, like, before I even, like, thought about writing songs. I was clearing shit out of my room the other day, and I found like my 3rd grade journal, and it was in like the biggest like left-handed chicken scratch. It was just like, my name is Jesse, like I'm a writer, like I'm gonna do this and that. So I looked back at that, I was like, damn, that was crazy. And then like I started like thinking back, I was like, I remember like writing like short stories and comics and shit like that, like when I was like stupid shit, like when I was in like 4th, 5th grade. So I always enjoyed writing and reading and shit, not more so the writing part, not the reading. But then, yeah, probably when I was like 12 or 13, like I kind of just like married like my love for hip hop and like my passion for writing and tried to like write rhymes for myself for the first time. And honestly, like I feel like the Hot 97 freestyles that I used to watch when I was a kid, like, was the first thing that, like, made me want to rap.
That was my next question. What, like, was there something you saw?
It was probably, I mean, just loving like, you know, I was a fan first before I ever thought about, like, trying to be an artist.
Right.
But seeing, like, dudes just pull up on the radio station and just, like, rip a crazy verse or just, like, go in for 5 minutes straight, like, that was, like, yo, I want to do that. Like, I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a one song or one artist. It was kind of just, like the craft, like, the culture around, like, you know, in New York, like, the big freestyle culture. So I probably started writing rhymes when I was, like, 12, 13 and just, like, basic shit and getting the hang of it and figuring out how to flow and how to, like, make it interesting at least, and then kind of just taking it from there. So
yeah, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, so that's a beautiful, that's like a very organic start to things, you know what I'm saying? That's I feel like that's the right way. I mean, there's no right or wrong way, but usually it starts with creating.
I know what you're alluding to. Yeah, you know, a lot of I feel like, you know, there's plenty of people out there who fall in love with the lifestyle before the actual craft of what you're doing, and, like, or just the passion for whatever genre of music you're trying to get into.
Right.
Like, we can, you know, I'm sure we'll talk about more shit, but that was my initial idea. Was never having anything to do with attention. It was just, this is what I really like to do. It was a passion. It was a hobby. So
yeah.
So when you go onto like Hot 97, you're gonna do your freestyles. Like you're
well, maybe wait on that for
no, we don't do that. No, we don't. Hold on.
No,
we don't do that here. First of all, because that's not. We don't put that shit into the air at all. We like talk about it. Talk about it as you are about to do it. So like when you do it, when you go up on Hot 97.
Because I know you'll see some people. You know, some of these artists might have something already written. Stuff like, are you going in there? Like,
yeah. What are you doing?
If I went up,
are you tapping him up first?
Of course. I mean, if I went to a station like that, like, I'm probably gonna spit a written, because that's just how it is. Like, I mean, not that, you know, going off the top is cool, and when people can really see it's off the top, like, it's organic and it's dope, and when you're really like, I'm thinking, like, the first thing that came to my mind was that Juice WRLD freestyle on Westwood, like, when it was, you can just tell he's actually making up it as he goes along, but you know, I think there's something to be said for still just ripping a crazy 16, 32, like, whatever, over some crazy beats, and, you know, making it hard and having all your crazy wordplay and stuff like that, because that's really how, you know, people's impression of, like, can this kid actually rap? You know what I mean? Like, there's no cuts. It's just the beat is running straight through, like, bar for bar. Like, what can you do? So, you know, if I'm lucky enough to do something like that one day, like, it'll be it'll be a game time decision. But, you know, like I said, like, that's kind of what I grew up on. So
that's what. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. That's. I mean, again,
we're putting the pieces together. We're building. We're building.
I mean, that's. I mean, look, anyone. I mean, it's baby steps, man. Like,
Facts.
it's anyone that tries to tell you that there's a quick, easy route. It's just not. It's just not true.
Yeah.
Look at anybody that you look up to that's successful, at least. But
yeah, I feel like I've learned that.
we got Sue
My
in
boy.
the building.
That boy Sue Money in the building.
How we doing, bro? How we doing?
Nah, you good, bro? What up? We're not. Yeah, we're good.
Pop in when you're ready.
Whenever you good, Brody.
What would you just ask him? What were you just saying?
I was talking about just like.
This was one thing I wanted to say. Like you just said about you were talking about building up, and it like.
Oh, the slow climb and shit.
Yeah,
not
the
happening
slow
overnight.
climb.
Yeah, fuck the quick shit. It doesn't work.
Because one thing that we like, I mean, it's we had a guest on here, and he was talking about that a little bit, and he was saying like, when you are 0 and you get to 100 really quick, as soon as you get that one like negative little something, like whatever, there's nowhere to back you up. You're going straight down to the bottom.
Right.
You know, if you slowly build your way up and slowly continue to build your way up, when you are at the top and you do get knocked down a little bit, you have other levels to back yourself up on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that on that point. But Sue is in the building. What
Welcome,
up,
Sue.
What's going on?
How you living?
What up?
What's going on? What's your name again,
Sue?
bro?
Jaysix.
Jaysix, nice to meet you.
How you doing, bro?
Doing
Good to see you.
Doing wonderful. How you living?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just seen this place for the first time, man. This is this is dope, bro. It's a full-on studio.
Right
Yeah, that's the Acqua Lounge.
That's that
baby.
Acqua Lounge.
Yeah, super tough.
This is I did my I tried to do that little intro, but this is our guy. You know what I'm saying? This is the dude who gets the life going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's here.
Something
He's in the
like
building.
that.
Good to meet you, man.
I'm
Good to
trying to
meet
spice
you.
it up. What's going on?
Yeah.
So what was y'all discussing? Catch me up a little bit.
Yeah,
So we were just talking a little bit about how Jay got started.
Okay.
With rapping, and he was just in L.A. He was doing
Okay.
a little tourist trip in L.A. Met up with his engineer
Fire.
that he hasn't met yet.
For the first
For the
time,
first-
yeah.
he met him
Got
the
to meet
first
for the
time in
first time.
LA. And yeah, we were just talking about a little bit about what was the Hot 97? How did that come up?
we were just saying when you go up on Hot 97,
Yeah.
like what's your process gonna be?
Oh,
Then
you going on Hot 97?
No, yeah.
He's gonna go.
For sure.
Yeah.
Eventually.
That's what I'm saying.
Down the road.
We don't talk about that shit like that.
We were saying like one of the first things that like inspired me to start rapping was like watching those ciphers on
Oh,
Hot
yeah.
97.
Ciphers was one of my first ones too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, for a fact.
BET Awards, they used to have them ciphers. You remember the BET?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you
Do they
probably,
do
you know
that
what I'm saying?
still?
Like the BET was every time a commercial break would come back in, there'd be a different cipher.
Yep.
And I started watching them shits, and that's when I was really like, I love.
I remember
ciphers.
the TDE cipher
Oh
on
my
BET.
God,
And,
Yeah.
and also Slaughterhouse too. Those are the
Slaughterhouse
two.
was good.
Those are the two that
A lot of
pop
people
into
don't
my
know about
mind.
Slaughterhouse. I'm not gonna lie. Remember, y'all remember Funk Volume?
Yeah. Hobson, Dizzy, right? And who's the third? Hobson, Dizzy.
So Swiss.
They got a group?
Jared Gruden.
Oh, no, Jared Benton.
Button, Jared
Benton.
Jared Benton. Oh my God.
Yo, shout out to that whole era.
Shout out to that.
That was
whole
crazy.
era.
I got some
Matter of fact,
YouTube research to get into.
Yo, you got to. You know Hobson?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't know he had a group like that though.
They used to. I mean, apparently, that went south pretty quick. Apparently, I don't know exactly what happened, but
Oh my God. You ever done a cipher before?
Live like that?
Yeah.
Nah. I'm waiting for it at some point.
Because Sue's a rapper,
Yeah, he
artist.
We might have to rip that at the end.
Yeah,
We might
for
have to
sure.
rip
oh,
that.
that's what we're doing. That's 100%.
Absolutely, for sure. I remember that. The Team
Dizzy.
Backpack one.
Should I play right now?
Nah.
Nah.
Just hold
Swizz.
it. Just hold it. Just hold it.
That's
That, bro, that was,
Crazy.
oh my, bro, Funk Volume. Woo.
Crazy. They'll
Wow.
never-
I thought Hobson dropped a couple things like a few years ago. Did y'all ever peep that shit?
Yeah,
I
he
was
got-
I think it was like, I don't know, maybe last 2 weeks ago, I saw him on IG. He's
For
like,
real?
He's like doing shit. He's just doing his normal. I think he's like dropping shit, right?
Okay.
I think I hit you up and I was like, yo.
So much to consume, you lose track of people.
Remember that
Yeah.
last week we talked about like the core 500 people buying your shit. That's
Yeah.
25,000. I promise you, he has that.
Exactly.
That's a
Exactly.
fact.
I promise.
Yeah,
you, 'cause
that's a fact.
if he dropped some
Cutthroat,
stuff
like
right
he-
now, I'd probably buy it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
honestly,
saying?
because you look how excited we just got for that whole era. So
Yeah.
obviously, but yeah, man. Like,
Hobson was a demon. So like, what's more your style of rap? So I can get like an idea. Like,
I mean, with what I've been putting out, like I'm trying my hand at a bunch of different styles.
Okay.
Like how I came up starting rapping was just like on some bar for bar, like
I see.
crazy flows, like really just trying to like work the craft as much as I can.
Okay.
But the more and more like I got into it, I was like, all right, I need to like start leaving some space between my bars, like make shit more digestible for people so they can latch on.
yeah.
I mean, people compare me to a bunch of white rappers. That's just kind of how it's gonna go.
yeah,
Like,
everybody's compared to all white rap. I don't know. White people just have this. It's not anything bad, and a lot of it's not. I can hear the difference because I'm a musician. But like, from a lot of people, it's just like I guess it's a wordplay that's similar.
Yeah.
Because like it's the same thing with like black people though. Like everybody, like you have different people sound different in most black people because cities have different.
cadences,
No, not
slang.
even cadences, not even cadences. Slang and like accents.
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah,
get what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the
That little
gist
twist of it, yeah.
Everybody's rapping about the same thing. But you got niggas from Atlanta, niggas from New York. They just sound different. You got niggas from Florida. So like it's like a black thing. It's like a culture with language. But like I don't think white people necessarily sound the same. Y'all get compared a lot because like y'all kind of have one culture. So the wordplay that y'all use it's basically like black people. We just sound different because we're from different cities.
Right.
But like most white guys just kind of like sound white. You hear a white guy talk from Florida and a white guy talk from New York.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Black person, Kodak versus Favi.
It's different.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You get what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Versus Baby
Oh, yeah.
versus somebody from
Nah, yeah.
LA. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like it's just that black culture of language, it just sounds different. But majority, they're all talking about the same shit.
Yeah. Do you think, like, honestly, like, this is a random thought. Do you think that's like, cause of who, like obviously, like it's cause of who blew at the time, like has some inspiration and shit. But like, do you guys think that like was it, like who was it, like G-Eazy type shit? Like, is it the person, like who really, like everyone he considered, like puts everything, like kind of categorizes it into like one thing where it's like like kind of college preppy rap,
Yeah.
a little bit like it's definitely lyrical,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit more on the softer side, but
Party
not
side.
Right.
yeah, like
So it's like a house, like a house rap.
yeah, like it's kind of it was just kind of that era of like I don't know,
What
I don't
era
even know
you
where I was
talking about?
getting
What
at.
era you at?
Kind of like bro, like like Chris Webby.
Oh,
You ever
I
heard-
remember.
I know
Chris
like
of him, yeah.
that's like just kind of that when like I'm trying to think who was like who was it
Macklemore. Are you
Macklemore,
talking
Grizzly
about that?
Adams,
Or
like all the Grizzly Adams,
Mm-hmm.
like Mike Lowry. You ever heard of him?
I don't know
Like,
him.
It's just like OCD, Moosh and Twist. You ever heard of them?
y'all really love music.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
here. I love music.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moosh.
Oh
yeah.
I know everything about everything.
It was just a time where like the best way I could put it is like a certain genre of music. I don't know exactly like how to call it. I guess it was like party kind of preppy, but at the same time lyrical. Like, I don't know what you call
Like
it. But
college-y.
that was like very like that was the shit. And now it's like kind of like definitely a shift.
I mean, I think anything has the potential to hit as long as it's believable. You know what
That's
I mean?
a fact.
Like,
yeah.
You see a lot of I feel like that's the thing about today's age is like everybody's making music now. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
all you need to do is just hop on Pro Tools, like
Yup.
get yourself a $200
Yup.
mic, and
But
Yup.
keep going.
spend the 15-20 minutes what it takes to figure
Yup.
out how to get your artist name on Spotify, and so I think no matter what type of whether you're making party music, shit that's really coming from your soul, you might be just a fucking heartbreak rapper and every song is about a girl, like as long as it's believable and it's like I feel like authentic to you, like there'll probably be an audience for it, and like it might take a while to find the demographic of people that are gonna fuck with you, but as long as like you're doing your thing, you're dope, and like you're actually true to like what you're spitting, and you're not somebody can match up one of your songs with how you look on Instagram with everything like that, then I feel like that's that's the most important part.
You're saying it's important for that to match up your. What do you mean by like matching up your song to your Instagram, like your aesthetic almost?
Your aesthetic, but also just like kind of how you come across. And
Yeah.
I guess like people, it's harder for somebody to see that who just pops onto your Instagram for the first time and just sees you, but somebody who's following you and sees your stories and see how you go about your day to day and how you interact with people, like that is like more so, like, because you don't want to be like, acting like you're hard and acting like you're street, and then on Instagram like you're just bullshit and
Right.
like that's so that's like more of what I mean, like
Yeah.
what you spit in your songs, like matching up with how you project yourself to the world.
I feel like a lot of that is what you're willing to sacrifice too, because I know a lot of people spitting a lot of bullshit that's popping.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's how far do you want to take it to be? Like me personally, I don't want to have a career where I can't be me. You get what I'm saying? So it's a little different. I'm not willing to sacrifice my character in order to blow up in a way where I'd have to continue that persona for the rest of my fucking career.
Right. It
Like
just won't work.
imagine,
It
like
won't work.
6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he wasn't like a bitch, but like he was not, like imagine having to be a gangster all day and you just want to have fun and goof off. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you just, you know what I'm saying? So like I feel like a lot of people can do it. I feel like that's the easy way, honestly. Building a persona to people gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause, like you're not guaranteed
I
anything,
agree.
but if you act a certain way that you know is gonna catch people's attention,
Right.
you have a higher ability, you know what I'm saying, of blowing up. But are you willing to sacrifice your whole career to be what you are? Because you got to stick to it.
Yeah.
Well, this
Especially if you get some money behind it.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I was gonna say though, kind of like what you were saying, like beside the music though, you need to have like I'll tell you when you perform, right? When you perform somewhere and he does a showcase, like,
Bro, crazy.
like for the people whatever, like if you go and see him, you're gonna be entertained. You know what I mean? So it's like you need that, because it's like kind of like what you were saying. If someone's spitting bars and doing their thing, but they're sitting on the stage and just spitting the bars.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, know,
Right.
when if you're going crazy, you're jumping, you're getting the crowd going.
Yup.
Like, that's what's gonna add that extra.
Because nobody, respectfully, no one gives a fuck about your lyrics.
That's a fact,
Like,
especially
let's
not
be
live.
honest with you. Let's be honest.
Let's be real. Yeah.
If Drake,
right
if
now.
Drake came on stage and stood there, right?
Yeah.
He get more hype than me if I spit the hardest verse he ever heard in his life. You get what I'm saying? So the bars don't fucking matter. It's what people see and it's what people feel when you first, you know what I'm saying? It's what they see and what they feel from you.
Especially
That's
now,
what first
yeah.
draws it to you. Because like I said, you gotta really like. When you drop music, nobody's really listening to you for the words. It's all about what they can see, because a lot of people won't listen these days. You got to catch people's attention.
Yeah,
so
or
you
just
gotta,
how it makes them feel.
Exactly. So it's always what they see and how you make them feel. Your lyrics don't mean shit for your first few years of rap.
It doesn't. That's a good ass point, bro.
Like
that's some real shit. Any rap, like you gotta put that. Don't take that into consideration. Just be like, oh, I guess I don't gotta have bars, but just understand that it. Safa God said it best. If you're not popping, you don't got some money, like, and you're talking about your hardship life, they're not gonna. No one's listening. No one gives a fuck. That's what he said. So
shout out Safa God.
Yeah.
And another thing too, like what you said though, where sometimes it takes time, but if you're being authentic, you're being yourself. Those people will see that right away when 100%. They see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't speaking.
100%. Like a lot of things is a lot. Was you about to say something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of things. What I realize is that the artists that stick are the ones that had it rough. You get what I'm saying? Like not even like rough, but like Big Sean, Drake, all them niggas, like they wasn't no TikTok hit. It wasn't no this. They was out there working. They was out there. The stories that the people that are really on the top tell, it wasn't no I posted a song on TikTok and got 2 million views the next morning. Or, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not even saying the niggas that do that don't have work in between it. But like if you want to build something, there has to be a process. I think that kind of ties into what you were saying when I walked in. It was just like step. So if you fall, is here.
You gotta
versus here.
Exactly.
Is that what you were saying?
And that was what Kurt was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shout out Kurt.
Exactly.
Shout out Kurt,
The
bro.
process is also important because if you reach, like, let's say you have a video go viral and you gain 30,000 followers on TikTok in a 2-week span, or you gain, I don't know, 15,000 Instagram followers in a 2-week span, like, you also, that's why the process is important, because you need to be ready and take each step. So like when you do have that influx of people come to your page and now they're in your world, they're like, okay, now I know who this is. I'm fucking with them on X, Y, and Z platform. Like your publishing is already straight. Like you have a merch store. So like all these 15,000 people who just came and discovered you, they can go support you. Like they can, you know, cause that's the only way we're going to be artists in the long term, bro, is by making money, because otherwise you're going to be in the red forever and you can't support music if you don't have the fucking money to support it. So
I kind of want to go just right off of that into the next thing. Like, so you, but like, as you know what I'm saying, you have also a career.
yeah.
So you want to talk about, like, you know what I'm saying, you said funding this and that, but it's like, it's very important. Like you're living proof of that. Like what, I mean, Sue, you as well, you're grinding at your job now. You got something else going on. You're grinding at your job. Like, how important, like, what do you do, first of all?
Yeah, so I work in advertising as a copywriter. Anybody who doesn't know what a copywriter is, it's essentially the person like at an advertising agency who will write the words in an ad, whether it's like an email or a TV commercial or, you know, an automated text message. Like the way the structure works, it'll be like an art team and a copy team. And like they work together creatively to come up with concepts and ideas for different ads and shit. So I work in the healthcare space, so there's a lot less creativity involved because there's a lot of things you can and can't say. But I basically found my way into that industry because of what I knew I was good at, what I knew my passion was, which was writing, creative thinking, all that kind of stuff.
That's sick.
And it's cool. Like I'm trying to figure out like ways to marry them together in the future. Like I've even like written raps like for my job about like pharmaceutical products that we work on and be like, yo, like this is like breaks down like how this shit works in somebody's body and like how it's gonna, and then people are like,
that's
you know,
crazy.
so like I'm trying to, it's cool doing that, but at the same time, like I feel like there's more of a way to even like really, as I'm trying to build my personal brand and get to what I ultimately want, which is to be an artist full time, I feel like there's a way where I can kind of like put all these different industries and avenues and skill sets together and like figure out a way where I can actually do what I want to do every day. And like, you know,
what's the job title again?
Copywriter.
Copywriter. Yeah. Okay.
Whenever I say, I always have to explain it because people think it's like the legal term, like copywriting shit.
So what comes first, the creative idea or the writing format for you guys, or is it one big group?
It's usually the idea first, like
so the copyright comes before the actual.
So like usually like
artist.
when we're kind of trying to come up with an idea together, like we'll break off and like I have most agency, like you'll have a creative partner. So like I have an art designer partner.
Got you.
And we think of like an idea for like what the brand is, what the product is, and like we try to think of like a concept. Like what if we like made it like this but positioned it so, you know, somebody's struggling with breathing but we picture them like out at sea and it's right like I'm just making shit up off the top of my head. And then like we agree on an idea, and then from there the art person starts like thinking of the visuals, and I start trying to put like a headline to it and put words to it.
Okay.
There's got to be a way where you can incorporate like your brand, like just maybe just the stuff that you're learning from that. You know what I mean? Because you're working with, because from what my understanding is, it kind of like you're figuring out like almost like advertising in a way, or marketing, just because like you're figuring out where to put things and how to write it.
Right.
Is that
Yeah, definitely. And it's like we're just kind of trying to like come up with like a message or an idea that whoever's supposed to see our ad, it's supposed to like invoke a certain thought or emotion for them. Like
to me,
they
that
see
goes
that
hand
and be
in
like,
hand with your brand as
like
an artist.
you see it like on TV. If you're
Yeah.
you're in ad for a sports game that's coming out, like well, like they hype it up. You're like, damn, I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
Like that just reminded me. Like
Yeah.
it could be anything. It could be something like a fucking an infomercial
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
like, damn, bro, I was just cleaning my fucking counters and that shit was sticking. So now I
Yeah.
need to get, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
stupid stuff like that. So it's
That's
just.
fire.
You can work that in with your music.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit to figure out with it, but I'm trying to, because it's, you know, you're building a lot at one time.
Yeah.
So, but
Sure.
One thing I wanted to just bring it back a little bit was, we didn't really get into this yet, but
Yeah.
I remember you said like the other day you found your writing note from like third grade, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
from third grade to when did you start the music?
So I started like writing rhymes for the first time, or at least trying to write rhymes when I was like 12, 13.
Okay.
Like kind of like that age where like shit actually starts happening in your life that like makes
You have something to
feel
write about?
Yeah, exactly. Because before that, it's just you're just chilling with your boys. Like it's
Yeah.
not like, other than that, like what else would you write about? But honestly, I was like very, if I'm being completely honest, like I was just very like shy at that point in my life. Like I just didn't really, like I thought it was good, and like I knew hip hop enough. I was like, man, I can flow a little bit. Like I can do this and that. But I didn't really want to put it out I just like kept it like a secret, honestly, for the most part. I just wrote to myself just because I enjoyed it. And then a couple kids who I hung out with, like, you know, I started telling them, so people started talking about it. And then like one boy from my high school was rapping. He was like, yo, you should pull up and like record with me. So, you know, we started like making songs together and shit. And
That's the
probably
right way, man. That's the right way.
That's
Teamwork.
how it happens. So I feel
Teamwork,
like, you
bro.
know. And I was probably like 16, and then first song that came out was when I was 17. When I was just putting out shit on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And it was fun, man. I was just kind of like doing that honestly for longer than I should have, because I was kind of caught in between of whether I wanted to pursue music, because like I said, like there was the shyness factor. I like didn't really like want the attention of like being a rapper. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, that's not really me. But the more and more I kind of just learned the world and figured out like what my career is going to be like, I was like, there's nothing I'm more passionate about than this. So this is what I should try to make my job, make my life. So that's kind of how I ended up where we're at and still building. So
Yeah.
That is lit. That's awesome, bro. Yo, are
Party
you
foul.
Sue, are you limping? What happened to you?
Bro, it's always something wrong.
The
What
gym?
the fuck is going on?
Mondays, I'm telling you.
Bro, what happened?
Damn, Mondays, I was at the gym and I was playing basketball and I strained my muscle inside of my thigh. And
You got crossed?
Huh?
You got crossed. You got crossed. Come
Kinda
on.
got busted low-key at LA Fitness. So let's be real.
Diddy bop.
I was at LA Fitness and they all suck. I was working.
Yeah, right.
I was working. I was
Yeah,
working
yeah.
so hard my leg was like, nigga,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
please. So yeah, I strained it, and I didn't know how bad a strain was. Can you fucking believe
That
it?
shit sucks.
Like a strain, I thought I pulled a muscle, right?
It's that soft tissue. You
Yeah,
gotta let it
I
heal.
thought I pulled a
Facts.
muscle. I'm stretching the fuck out that shit, and I look it up. I'm like, bro, this can't be no fucking
This
pull muscle,
can't.
nigga. I done pulled muscles, nigga. This ain't pulling. This yanking. I was like, I don't know what the fuck going on. So I looked it up, and the strain, you're just not supposed to stretch it. I was stretching for like 45
Oh, you
minutes.
didn't make it work.
And then
That's the
I didn't
worst
know
thing.
strains took longer to heal. And I went to go hoop today. It's like 3 days ago, and I fucked it up more. So yeah, I'm out of it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back
Get
to
well
the
soon,
fact.
bro. We'll be back in there in no time.
Yeah.
I thought I was.
So growing up,
Back to the main.
Yeah.
like growing up, like would you say like obviously what like was it writing and like music, or like what else you got going on like growing up? Like were you in
Play
sports?
sport?
Were you-
Yeah, you play sports.
Sport, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I definitely hung out, like, with the jocks in high school. Like, that was kind of, like, my circle. Like, I just hung out with all the kids who I played baseball and football with.
Okay.
Sports and hip-hop was basically all I did, I feel like, from when I was, like, 10 to, like, 18 until, like, went to college and started exploring different shit. So, yeah, that's really, like, where I spent most of my time, honestly. If I wasn't, like, at practice, like, coming home, writing rhymes, watching a game, like, doing what the average, 13, 14-year-old kid was doing, just chilling with my boys and hanging out. So
did people we're gonna talk about the good and the bad on this.
Yeah.
Did people right when you started? Did people clown you? Like, especially being a white rapper, like, what people like, yo, like, come on, bro, like, just what do you like?
Nah, not really.
Go ahead.
People will not. Go ahead.
No, just say what you're gonna say.
People will not tell you suck when you first start. Barely now. It's hard to get genuine.
They'll tell
feedback.
other people that you suck.
Yeah. Even when I say, y'all know I'll do it. Like, how much of a dickhead do I look like if somebody plays a song and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga showing us his art, and I'm like, nah, nigga. It's not it. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I would do it, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, it doesn't really feel right, but I know it helps more than just saying, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I won't say, like, it sucks. I see, like, anytime in the studio with somebody, I'm like, yo, fix this or lay this. And then, you know what I'm saying?
It's good.
There's always feedback to give, and a lot of people are afraid to give feedback, believe it or not.
It is
always,
true.
Yeah, bro, that shit hard.
It's true.
I think, if you're giving feedback is something, and I think artists want that and need that, and they like.
I definitely do.
They want that and they need it, and like, for you to if it's gonna be just like, oh no, that's not it, but like giving them like, this is the reason, like, yo, maybe you should do this or try.
A lot of artists who do not want to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of
That's
artists
true
don't
too.
want it. A lot of artists don't. A lot of artists literally just want you to be like, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Or I think they rather nah, that's not it, rather than telling them what to do. Only a few artists that actually sit there and like listen to other people with an ear, because I have a really good ear for music. I don't even do it a lot, like as much as I should. I just have a really good ear for stuff, and I'm not afraid to like say it, like, yo, this don't sound right, or this or this.
All right, I'm gonna send you my catalog then.
Send it, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm the right guy to talk to as
Word
far as
up.
that.
That's
I ain't
what's
gonna
up.
do no faking, because I believe in people, and you know what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna put out something, I want it to be the best, or at least as close as we can get to the best. So you come to me, ask me for my opinion. That's what you're gonna get.
And I feel like a real artist will always like respect that and also want that from people, because if you're watching this right now and you're a real artist, you know that everything you put out, you listen to it and you're like, man, I fucked up that word. Be like, my tone wasn't there in that word. Like, man, and especially like, if you're somebody who came up rapping like me and is like transitioning into my singing voice, like, you're always like, man, I didn't hit that word. Like, I didn't hit. So like, I mean, people who just don't want feedback or aren't willing to take criticism are kind of just in their own world. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like knowing as a low level artist that no matter how talented you are, like, it's going to take years and years for like a massive amount of people to fuck with you. You should always be looking for opinions, because guess what? People's opinions determine your career, because if people don't fuck with you, you don't make money and you don't have a fan base. 100%. So like, that's why it's crazy, because it's one thing for like, if you're at your day job and your fucking manager comes up to you and be like, I don't like the way you're doing that. Be like, I don't need this fucking job anyway. Like, but when your source of income,
you care about, and it's your baby.
It's entertainment, bro. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
I feel like y'all the same way too. If somebody came up to y'all, was like, yo, look, the studio, this was uncomfortable, or this was too
look at this place.
Y'all the type where I was just like, okay,
no, 100%. That's what
we need y'all to come back. So like, we want to make sure y'all good. That's what I really like about y'all a lot.
I appreciate it, bro.
Like, a lot. Like, I like people who are willing to listen.
Yeah.
And also, you know what I'm saying, take feedback and give it. You get what I'm saying? So like, even when y'all be in the studio with y'all artists, like, you in there talking,